Hi, welcome back to Vola TV. I'm Barry Wright, Deputy Head Teacher at the Academy, and I'm joined by Matthew Boyle, Head Teacher. How are you, Matthew?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. And you can probably tell that we're in a different setting because we felt it's been a little while since we've had a Vola TV and haven't really updated you. And this week we had a whole series of assemblies, so we thought we'd choose the assembly hall just to remind you where your families and your young people are having their assemblies, just to update you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was almost a slick.
Almost slick, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So no, it's nice to show you different parts of the school. We'll make an effort to do that a wee bit more often. But our assemblies this week, S1 on Monday through to S5 and 6 today. And we had a variety of things that we talked about, but with our S1 to S3 students, we really focused on how well our students are behaving. There's a little bit of a competition at the moment between the three different house groupings. Now, it's not like Hogwarts, but we've got house groups, and that's a kind of administrative organisation structure, if you like. All of your children will be in a different house group in the school. And to encourage good behaviour, we are measuring at the moment different number of merits that we've got per student in each house. So it's been quite an interesting week, quite competitive between the three house heads, of which I have to declare I'm one for Fleming House.
And where are you in the competition just now?
Up in
With
some
Fleming
areas,
House?
down in others. So, yeah. So, I mean, the whole idea is just to encourage everyone to behave as well as they possibly can, to get as much from school as they possibly can. So it's been quite a nice week. It's been really, really positive. It's about encouraging. It's not about talking about poor behaviour. It's about encouraging the really good behaviours. And we've done a lot of work in that over the course of this week. And Mr Hooper's run some really nice assemblies for S1 and S3.
And actually, it's a nice chance to remind you about the houses. We haven't had traditional house activities. Most schools these days don't really have an awful lot of time for doing those sort of things. But we revamped the house system, you might recall, 3 or 4 years ago.
That's right.
And we went from the old houses that honestly had become a little bit moribund. People had forgotten, what they were. Yep. So we had the students vote on various figures, mostly Scottish, but not exclusively, that they found inspirational. And that's why we arrived at McKellen House.
That's right.
Fleming House, and of course Granger House. Yeah. 3 figures. 2 of them still living, of course, and one who gave us penicillin. Yeah.
I have to say, my house is named after the only guy who saved tens of millions of people. But anyway, we can move on.
We'll edit that out later. The competition has become increasingly fierce, but it is lovely to see the beginnings of some competition and a little bit of fun about that. But just to keep you up to date, so we will have house prizes at the end of the year, and it's great to see all of the positive focus.
And as ever, we want you to have those conversations, over the kitchen table when your kids come in at night. Ask them how their day was. Don't accept it when they say fine. Fine. Didn't do anything. Didn't learn anything today. I promise you they did. But really try to encourage those good behaviours of politeness and looking after one another, kindness, and just really trying their best. That's a really big deal here.
If I can make a short aside, one of the things that we understand, your parents too, it's often quite difficult to get your families or your children to engage with a chat about how school's going, what they're doing, unless they've got a problem and want to talk to you. I remember I used to ask my daughter every day. She's mostly been in primary school up till now, and I would say, how was school? What have you learned today? And I would just get, it's fine. It's fine. So I bet you all recognise that. It's fine. And then I read an article one day and it said, stop asking your kids how their day was. And actually we could do each other a favour by sharing some of the questions. So the first day I did it, I'd taken one of the 10 starter questions in this, and my daughter came in and I said, after giving her a snack, I said, so which of your teachers in the school do you think is most likely to survive the zombie apocalypse, and why? And she looked at me. And she got deeply engaged. 20 minutes later, we were still talking about what she's learning from people in the school. So there is something to be said for not asking how was your day, because you never really get an interesting answer.
Focus on something.
But anyway, back to the content of the assembly. We've got a couple of other things to share about what's
yesterday
coming
and
up.
today, we did our S4 assembly yesterday, our S5-6 assembly today, and it was a slightly different tone, but again, a very positive tone. We are now at the end of week 1 of this term, of the October to Christmas term, and we will have interim assessments on week 7. So we've got 5 weeks and 3 days from now our senior interim assessments will begin. Now, the reason I say that, it's not to in any way, stress anyone out.
We don't want stress.
That's not what we're about at all. But I do want to really highlight and point out this window of opportunity that's opening here. It's one assessment. It's one assessment out of many high-quality assessments that go on during the year. But it's a great opportunity for young people to gauge where they are with their learning, with the national qualifications courses that they're looking at in S4, S5 and S6. So what I was really trying to get across to young people yesterday and today was that they've got a great opportunity. Make a study plan. Think about where you are in different subjects. Make sure that you're talking to your teachers and asking for help and getting the feedback that you need. And really try and make the most of these next 5 weeks or so that when you do your interim assessments during that diet of assessment at the beginning of December, you get the truest possible feedback so that you're ready after Christmas to kick on and move towards the SQA exams in May next year. So that's really what we were trying to get across. It's so important that studying is part of and preparing for study and organising your thoughts is part of what you're doing at this point, so that you give yourself the best possible chance.
And when Barry was running the senior assemblies, I found it really helpful that he was reminding our seniors that you shouldn't spend too much time studying things that you enjoy, that you already do quite well. Sometimes that can polish off the B you might get in the test, but where you get the big bucks for your study money is when you're not quite ready to pass something, but actually there are 2 or 3 big areas that are the kind of basics, the meat and drink of the topic, and if you can just get half of those sorted, you're going to get halfway. You're going to get your C, your 50%, just by studying those things that you didn't get. So although it's a difficult thing to get across to young people, that if you've got 4 or 5 weeks of study, you don't want to be feeling miserable when you're doing it. Actually, it's a good feeling when you take on things that you didn't get, or you missed, or you didn't enjoy, and then start to see them fall into place, and you think, okay, that's not so bad. And you've already got the other stuff you like already kind of in the bag. So it's about strategic studying. We're really happy to give as much advice as anyone wants on that. And if any parents want any support or any ideas on how to kind of help your children to arrange that, or how to organise it, or even the kind of things to talk to them about, because you can be a big part of it. I keep on reminding people, don't say I can't help you with that anymore. Sit them down and say, tell me everything you're learning, show me, try and explain it to me, because that's one of the 4 or 5 pieces of study technique that survived years of increasingly rigorous research. It's when you organise your thoughts as a young person and try and tell someone else that you either consolidate them and get better at it, or you realise what you don't know and then you can go and study those things.
Yeah, it's right at the heart of metacognition, which is just really a fancy word for understanding how to learn and how to
thinking about your learning.
Thinking about learning, absolutely. So that's what we did in our assemblies this week. I hope hope that's been helpful to you. And please, really, the takeaway is just to have those conversations about positive behaviours. And please, if you've got youngsters who are not just in the senior phase but throughout the school, please have a chat with them, studying and really trying to overtake those areas that they're the most difficulty with, so they can give themselves the best possible chance of pushing on with their learning.
And I'm going to throw in a little thanks to the parents of our S1 and 2
of course,
families.
yeah.
We had a lovely school disco last night, a Halloween disco, and the costumes were amazing. It was so obvious that lots of families have put a lot of time and effort into helping make outfits, get outfits. Honestly, it was fantastic. So thanks for your effort, because we're all about the studying, we're about the attendance. You know that. We are so ambitious as a school, and we're doing so well, but we like to have fun too. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
We look forward to that. Thank you, everyone.